In the annals of horticultural history, few names shine as brightly as Robert Fortune. Born in 1812 in Berwickshire, Scotland, Fortune would go on to become one of the most daring and influential plant hunters of the 19th century. His early life was marked by a deep fascination with botany, a passion that would shape his destiny and change the course of global trade. Fortune's journey from a humble gardener to a botanical spy is a tale of ambition, adventure, and audacity. By the 1840s, Fortune had established himself as a respected botanist, catching the attention of the Horticultural Society of London. This recognition led to his first expedition to China in 1843, a journey that would lay the groundwork for his most famous and controversial mission. In the 19th century, tea was more than just a beverage. It was a symbol of sophistication and a driving force of global commerce. For centuries, China had held an iron grip on the tea trade, guarding its secrets of cultivation and production with zealous determination. The British Empire, with its insatiable thirst for tea, found itself in a precarious position. Tea had become an integral part of British culture, with millions of cups consumed daily across the nation. However, this addiction came at a steep price. The East India Company, which held a monopoly on British trade in Asia, was forced to pay for Chinese tea with silver, creating a significant trade imbalance. The British government and the East India Company were desperate to break China's stranglehold on the tea trade. Enter Robert Fortune, the man who would become the most famous or infamous botanical spy in history. In 1848, Robert Fortune received a proposition that would change his life and the course of history. The East India Company, acting on behalf of the British government, approached him with a clandestine mission of utmost importance. His task was audacious: to infiltrate China's closely guarded tea-growing regions, learn the secrets of tea production, and acquire tea plants and seeds for cultivation in British India. The stakes were enormously high. Success would mean breaking China's monopoly on tea, potentially saving the British Empire millions of pounds and securing a stable supply of the beloved beverage. Fortune, with his experience in China and his botanical expertise, was deemed the perfect man for the job. The East India Company spared no expense in preparing Fortune for his covert operation. He was provided with the latest surveying and botanical equipment, disguises, and a substantial budget to finance his journey. Robert Fortune's transformation from a Scottish botanist to a Chinese merchant was nothing short of remarkable. To penetrate the heavily guarded tea-growing regions of China, he adopted an elaborate disguise. Fortune shaved the front of his head and wore a long braid known as a queue, which was mandatory for Chinese men during the Qing dynasty. He donned traditional Chinese clothing and perfected his Mandarin accent. Fortune immersed himself in Chinese culture, adopting local mannerisms and customs. He traveled with a retinue of Chinese servants who were unaware of his true identity, further cementing his cover. His attention to detail was meticulous, even going so far as to eat with chopsticks and sleep on traditional brick beds to avoid arousing suspicion. Fortune's disguise was put to the test countless times during his journey. He encountered suspicious officials, curious locals, and even fellow Westerners who failed to recognize him. The success of Fortune's deception relied not only on his physical disguise, but also on his deep understanding of Chinese society. Robert Fortune's expedition into the heart of China's tea country was fraught with danger at every turn. The terrain itself posed significant challenges, with treacherous mountain passes, raging rivers, and dense forests blocking his path. Fortune and his team often found themselves traversing narrow cliffside trails where one misstep could mean certain death. Xenophobia was rampant in China at the time, fueled by recent conflicts with Western powers. If discovered, Fortune faced the very real possibility of imprisonment or execution as a spy. He had several close calls, including an encounter with a group of bandits who nearly uncovered his true identity. Disease and illness were constant companions on Fortune's travels. He battled malaria, dysentery, and other tropical ailments that threatened to derail his mission. The remote nature of his expedition meant that medical care was often rudimentary or non-existent. Fortune relied on his own knowledge of herbal remedies and sheer determination to push through these health crises. Robert Fortune's mission was to steal live tea plants and seeds from China. The Chinese guarded their tea varieties jealously, with severe punishments for smuggling. Fortune used all his botanical knowledge and cunning to succeed. His first breakthrough came in the Wuyi Mountains, collecting black tea plants. He packed seedlings in glass cases to protect them during the sea voyage. Timing was crucial for collecting ripe tea seeds. Fortune often worked at night, sneaking into plantations. He developed methods of packing seeds in charcoal and moss. His most daring act was infiltrating a green tea factory. With his precious cargo of tea plants, seeds and knowledge, Robert Fortune made his way to India, where the next phase of his mission would unfold. The British had already established experimental tea gardens in the foothills of the Himalayas, but they lacked the right varieties and expertise to produce tea on a commercial scale. Fortune's contributions would change all that. The tea plants that survived the journey were carefully planted in nurseries in the Darjeeling region. Fortune worked closely with local horticulturists, sharing the techniques he had learned in China. He taught them how to select the best leaves, the proper methods of withering and oxidation, and the art of rolling and drying the tea. His detailed notes on Chinese tea processing proved invaluable in replicating the quality of Chinese teas. Many plants died in the unfamiliar climate, and it took years of experimentation to adapt Chinese tea cultivation methods to Indian conditions. By the 1850s, Indian tea production was beginning to show promise, with the first commercial shipments leaving for England. The impact of Fortune's work extended beyond just establishing tea plantations. Robert Fortune's successful mission to bring tea cultivation to India set in motion a series of events that would revolutionize the global tea trade. As Indian tea production ramped up, it began to challenge China's monopoly, leading to increased competition and lower prices. This democratization of tea made it more accessible to a broader range of consumers around the world. The establishment of tea plantations in India also had far-reaching economic implications. It created a new industry that provided employment for thousands and became a significant source of revenue for the British Empire. The success of Indian tea encouraged further experimentation with tea cultivation in other British colonies such as Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, and parts of Africa. The need to adapt Chinese methods to different climates and conditions in India spurred technological advancements. New hybrid tea varieties were developed and more efficient processing techniques were invented, leading to the creation of distinctive Indian teas like Darjeeling and Assam. Robert Fortune's daring mission to steal tea from China left an indelible mark on world history. His actions broke China's monopoly on tea and reshaped global trade patterns. Today, as we sip our morning cup of Darjeeling or Assam tea, we taste the fruits of Fortune's labor. His mission serves as a prime example of industrial espionage altering economic history. The transfer of tea cultivation to India shifted the balance of power in Asia, contributing to the decline of China's dominance and the rise of the British Empire. The next time you enjoy a cup of tea, consider the remarkable journey that brought those leaves to your cup.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.